You see, I wasn't always this confident weirdo you see now. Someone who isn't afraid to really stick out or stand out. Someone, who isn't afraid to be authentically themselves and be as weird as they want to be and not really care about what others think or say. I used to not always be like this. Back in my younger days, especially while I was in school, I used to kind of be embarrassed about my weirdness. I used to kind of be afraid to show people my weirdness. I used to hide my weirdness from everyone, especially people at school. I always tried my best to appear normal, you know, and not stand out and not, you know, yeah. Mainly it was because I was afraid of what other people thought of me. Because sometimes whenever my weirdness would slip out, there would be occasions where someone would, make fun of me and tease me for it and even bully me for it a little bit as well. And I didn't really want that. So I did my best. I tried my best to, appear normal, you know, and especially while I was at school, you know. And one of the more major occasions I did this was during school dances. More specifically, Halloween dances, because that was really the only school dance I ever went to, really. But, yeah. I used to go to these Halloween dances and try my best to be normal, which for me meant blending in. Like sitting there with a drink in my hand and not really do anything. Blending in, being normal. If I had to dance or whatever, I would just do it what everyone else was doing usually, and that was like the awkward, white kid shuffle. They didn't ever really dance. They would just kind of just shuffle around. I did that. I never did anything weird or extravagant to, bring attention to myself during these dances. I would just do my best to be normal, appear normal, blend in, and yeah. And I did that for years at these Halloween dances. And after a while, it kind of got to me a little bit. After a while, it kind of was getting to me, you know, hiding my weirdness, pretending to be normal. It was getting to me. And all of a sudden, at one of these Halloween dances, I was sitting there with a drink in my hand, pretending to be normal, blending in, and all of a sudden, something in my brain snapped. And I started thinking, what the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? Pretending to be normal, trying to be normal. This isn't me. I'm not normal. I'm weird. I'm different. You know, that's, this normal isn't me. Why am I trying to be normal? Why am I trying to blend in? Why am I trying to, you know, please these people? Why do I care so much what these people think of me? What people think of me? What they say about me? Like, why do I care so much? And And I decided, this isn't fucking me. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to fucking pretend to be fucking normal anymore. I want to be weird. I want to be myself. And I don't care what anyone else says. So I decided, I'm going to do something weird. I don't care what it is. I want to do something weird. And lo and behold, an opportunity came. A popular girl, or more popular than me at least, girl came up to me and asked me to dance. And I decided, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm just gonna be weird. So I got up to dance, and I basically started dancing like a fucking weird, crazy person. I was all over the place, moving around, doing all kinds of fucking dance moves and shit, being myself, in my own head, in my own world, having fun, dancing, and yeah, it was fun. I probably scared the crap out of this girl, most definitely, but it was fun. I was dancing, I was having a good time, I was being myself, dancing like a crazy, weird person. And yeah. And afterwards, after the dance was over with, the song was over with and everything, I stopped, I caught my breath because I was moving around a lot. And yeah, I looked around, and yeah, everyone was staring at me. But honestly, I couldn't have cared less. I had fun. I was myself. And yeah, that's all that really mattered to me. And I looked around, I looked at the girl, see what she was, how she reacted to it. And she was actually laughing. Not like in a mean way, but she was just laughing. I think she had a good time just watching me dance. And she's like, "Oh, well, that was something." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, it was." and we went on our separate ways, and everyone still kind of looking at me, and I had the biggest fucking smile on my face, and yeah, I had fun. I was myself. I was weird in front of everyone. And guess what? I didn't care what anyone else thought of me, what anyone else was saying about me. I didn't care. The only thing that mattered is I enjoyed myself. I had fun being myself, being weird. And that's all that mattered. And honestly, this whole moment was kind of a defining moment for me. It kind of changed my whole perspective, you know. It kind of gave me more confidence to start being myself, you know, being authentically me, weird as I am, and just stop caring so much about what everyone else was thinking of me, what everyone else said about me, and just, you know, be myself. Granted, sometimes I still feel a little awkward and embarrassed at certain times with some of my weirdness, but honestly, it's so much better now than it was before, you know. I'm more myself. I'm happy with being myself, as weird as I want. And it's all honestly thanks to that kind of moment you know. But yeah, that was kind of my Wednesday dance moment. If you've seen this show Wednesday, I don't have to explain to you what it is, but there's a moment in that show where she defiantly and confidently, expresses herself, her weirdness, through dance, dancing weirdly at a school dance. And yeah, my moment was kind of similar, honestly. And nowadays I look back at that and I kind of call it my Wednesday dance moment because that's kind of what it was for me. I was, it was a defining moment for me. It kind of was the trigger to, finally make me break free from pretending to be normal, and I could finally, be more myself and confidently be more myself and and be weird. But yeah. So yeah, that was my Wednesday dance moment. And honestly, I loved it. You know, I loved it. It was a great moment in my life. And I look back on it fondly. It was a great and defining moment in my life. And yeah.